Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to what does I call this? From the car, DWTT series or segment, whatever you want to call it, for what I'm thinking. And what am I thinking? Well, let's see. It's a couple days after the North London Derby. I kind of watched it. I watched probably about 80% of it. I haven't done a rewatch. I would like to do a rewatch. Just haven't felt I've had the time to sit down and watch it. But from what I saw, and I like to tell everybody what I saw, from what I saw, Arsenal had full control of that match most of the time. You are going to give up some opportunities to the other side, especially a side like that team at their place. So that was bound to happen. But in general, we had pretty much most of the control in that match. We started out strong like we always do. We put a goal home with the help of Lloris. Pretty good He chested that ball in really nicely. Good assist from Saka with the ball. Saka was dominating all day. I mean, I think as a team we pretty much dominated most of the game. Um, Erdegaard getting the second goal, a really nice goal from distance to the far to the I guess the far corner for him probably. And Lloris couldn't even see it coming. As a whole, like I said, we controlled that game. It came down to the midfield like usual, and for me, one of the things that I noticed, at least when I watched the game, is that I didn't really have much to say about the midfield, and that's usually a good thing. It's a good thing. I think everything was just flowing the way we wanted it. Either we go over the top, or we build up through the middle. Um, they got nothing, and they had to, and we enjoyed that. So I guess I'm gonna kind of talk from the back, front, forwards. Let's do that. Ramsdale, perfect day. Put a lot of he put a lot of he made a lot of he made some saves. Um, I think one with his foot, a couple with his hands. Really good game from him. Yeah, yeah. Distribution was, I don't know if I noticed that as much because of how we were pretty much controlling much, but in general, he had a really good game. With him there, they got nothing, even when they did get opportunities. That back line, keeping a clean sheet along with Ramsdale, gotta say we did a good job. Didn't even notice that Son and Harry Kane and Kulusevski were even there, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't think they had an easy day, but I think we controlled the game so much that it just put all of the advantage on our side. Starting from the back, going forward, those guys were really good. In the middle, you got Saliba and Gabriel doing what they do, and then on the outside, Zinchenko and Ben White continuing what we've been seeing them do throughout, throughout the game, throughout most games. So that back line was solid. Once again, that midfield, as I said, I think helped us control the game, and they got nothing. They got nothing. I think one of the things that I've been saying is Partey is key to a lot of this. Starts from him and then kind of trickles forward, if you know what I mean. When he's having a good day, when he's in control, everything's quiet in that midfield. It goes to him and just quiets down, and we get all the control we want. And then that ball moves forward to maybe a Xhaka and Erdegaard, depending on which side you're talking about. And yeah, it's clean, nice, quiet. There's not a lot of noise in that midfield when we're in control of the match. Really good from us. You move up top, and Martinelli and Kedia and then Saka. Saka going last, not indicative of his play. He's pretty much one of the top players, but that front line really good. I think Martinelli, I'm thinking he's kind of going, not necessarily going through growing pains, but these are the type of cycles that he's going to go through where he's not as influential as you would like him to be, but he's just part of a growing learning as he goes along. I mean, I think we saw some of that with Saka in the past year, where it looked like he just kind of wasn't involved as much as you want him to be, and I think that's just going to come with the more playing that he has. Maybe he gets a break at some point, but I think it's just going to come as they kind of evaluate the games, and maybe some of the opponents and stuff get a little bit easier as we move further into the rest of the season. These have been some tough games, And I think Saka's up for it. I think Martinelli just hasn't had the experience, and it will come. It will come. Uh, Nketiah in the middle. We're not necessarily we are not missing Jesus, but we are missing Jesus, if you know what I mean. Nketiah is doing his job. Like I said, I expect him to always be in the box, putting pressure on that back line. I believe he's doing that, and that's why the games are looking like that, and why we're getting what we want out of the games. So Nketiah, continue to do what you're doing. As you know, we're expecting goals, but we also, for me, I expected them to have some presence in the middle there, and that's what we're getting. What else we got? What else we got? So that's the entire game. Arteta, another splendid job of getting the team prepared and ready to play a game on the road against one of our biggest rivals. As somebody was saying, our goals for and against is 5-1 against that team. Really good. If you said, you're going to come into the season, you're going to outscore them by 4 goals in this season, you'll take it, right? And that's what we did. What else you got? So that's the game. Many said, the officials quiet, nothing. They're one of the negatives. The big negatives is, I guess, Richarlison and that team's fans. Richarlison wouldn't even pump fist his own teammate from the Brazilian side when Martinelli was taking a corner. That's tell you kind of where he is mentally when he's on the pitch. No friends. Got it. At the end of the match, going after Ramsdale, hearing a lot of pundits talking about Ramsdale maybe instigating this by kissing the badge. If that's considered instigating essentially the responses from Richarlison and the fans, then that's not. Well, then we can't play football anymore. That's just part of the game. That's just football, and we know that playing at that team's field, fans are gonna go after you the entire match. So he gives it back, and he does I feel when he's talking, he's feeling comfortable and confident in himself. Richarlison probably should get penalized. I don't know if why you're allowed to hit somebody in the head and not get away with it. That fan, I think, when they've caught him, he's going to probably have a little bit of an issue with his job now because he's put his company on, I guess, the company on the out there in the public eye now. And it's probably a stain now to have that out there and be associated with that. But we'll see how that happens. I think the FA is having I would say, a bad week, right? I mean, if they don't do anything in terms of Richarlison, then that looks bad. And now there's reports of, I think, a manager with some racist comments, and they're basically saying he's not really racist, right? He just said a lot of racist stuff. 18-month suspension. All right, whatever you say, whatever. All right, but that's kind of the world we're in right now. Next up, we're going to get into the little transfers real quick. Yes, we lost out on the man from Ukraine. Sounds like Zinchenko's not too happy with him either. But, well, we move on. You would have thought that, if the football gods had their way, we lose Mudryk and then Arsenal suffers. Well, no, we extended our lead. Now we're 8 points at the top of the table. So, if you want to join us, join us. If you don't, bye. And hopefully Arsenal does have plans to kick up some more players. I was hoping that as soon as the Mudryk deal fell apart, that Arsenal's second and third options would be on the table, basically. But now we're hearing that we're looking at Declan Rice in the summer. So for me, is that like a firing shot that, guess what? We're done with the January window. I fear that is the case. There are a lot of options for us, but Trossard is one. Some would say my initial thought is Arteta probably wouldn't take him just because of the kind of controversy around him. But if he can look at Xhaka and say, you know what, that wasn't me, that's a different situation, that's before my time, then he probably can do the same thing for Trossard, right? Trossard's thing seems to be a kind of a combination between the manager and the player, communication-wise, and Arteta probably could talk to Trossard to see what's going on. I feel they could actually lowball him in this particular point in time. This is an opportunity where you probably can lowball because the player wants out, the team wants him out. Why not take advantage of that? Arsenal will probably not take advantage of it. Arsenal probably might. I could see nothing happening, and us just trying to be lucky and hope that we don't have to deal with any injuries or suspensions. I'm most concerned about the injuries, but we need to do something. We need to bring in 2 players at least. I've heard like Balogun and Patino coming in, but the only way they come in is if they play for me. If they're not going to play, then what's the point? If Arteta doesn't, if he looks to his bench and doesn't want to bring in Balogun, or if he doesn't want to bring in Patino, then forget it. Now let them stay where they are because they're perfectly set for their careers going forward. And I would expect them to be able to compete for a spot in the team in the summer if they continue with their progress. But there are players in that in that 20 to 50 million range that Arsenal can go out and get. They can get 3 players for what they were going to pay for Madrid. We know there's money available because they would have done that. They spent 8 months probably trying to get Madrid, and it failed. And now, quiet, nothing. I find that really strange. I don't understand that at all. They did go through the last January window, and they did see how the season ended, right? So, come on, let's do better this time. There's got to be options out there. There has to be. There has to be at least 2 options out there. So let's see what goes on there. Going into our next match against Manchester United, we're at home. Fans going to be up for that one after the last match that we played. The team should be up for that after the last match we played. We are a lot healthier than we were in the last match. They are playing much better. They had a really good game against us, but many don't believe that was their best play and their best game. But they're playing much more consistent and better now. We are playing definitely consistent as we have all season. You catch us on our day, you might get a point away from us. That hasn't happened too often, right? 3 times that we lost points in a match, and Manchester United's only one to get all 3. So there you go. So I think it's going to be a good match. I'm confident in the way we're playing. We're playing at home. So come on, Arsenal. Let's get another 3 points and hopefully extend our lead even more. That'd be really cool. What else we got going on? Then that's it. That's it, actually. Really looking forward to it. Hope you enjoyed my from the car segment of what I'm thinking. This is DWTT. Gary to my friends, of course. Life is a journey. Don't waste a trip. Enjoy the ride. All right. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see you on the next one.